Jurgen Klopp to take a bigger role in Leeds United's future. Daniel Farke has his say. Leeds United handed major triple injury boost ahead of Friday's game against Sheffield United. Cheikou Kouyate has failed his medical and his move to Leeds United is off the table. And Leeds United look towards this unnamed German midfielder to help our injury issues. What's going on, everybody? Team, welcome back to another episode of South Stand Stories. This is, of course, good everything happening in and around the world of Leeds United. And we have a little talk about it. Woohoo! And the first story we have is surrounding the big man, Jurgen Klopp, who of course has taken a big role over at Red Bull, overseeing all of their future clubs and future endeavours in terms of the footballing side of things. One of them being, of course, Leeds United, newly acquired by Red Bull as of last year. Now, there's been wild speculation surrounding what his involvement could be at the club. Is he going to be hands-on with Leeds? Is it really going to affect us? Well, Daniel Farke has just had his pre-match press conference for Friday, and boy, do we have a hell of a lot of news to talk about. Now, the first one is Jurgen Klopp. He was quizzed on what his role would be after the former Liverpool manager taking up a new role with the White shareholders that will see him oversee coaching as he advises teams across the energy drinks multi-tier club model. Whilst there's been some speculation around Klopp's new position and how it will impact the Whites, Farke states that he will remain not too involved with Leeds. Speaking on his pre-match press conference, he stated he is not going to be directly involved with Leeds United. There are obviously a few Red Bull teams like Leipzig, Salzburg, New York, and so on. We are Leeds United, and for that, it is clear. He has a big impact on the Red Bull clubs, and for us, not too much. We are Leeds United, and I think no one of our supporters would allow us to try and copy something or follow a similar philosophy. We are a pretty unique club, and we also have our own values, principles, philosophy, and our own way of how we want to play. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to hear, and I'm sure all of you guys would down in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts on this one, because obviously there's a lot of fears. Is our new stadium going to be called Ellen Road Red Bull FC? Is our new philosophy going forward going to be a kind of I want to say Moneyball style of philosophy, kind of how they've done over at RB Leipzig? Is it going to be a successful one? Is it going to be one where Red Bull kind of get their hands involved after the 49ers probably sell up 50-60% of the club in a few years and then start to take things in their own direction? It doesn't seem that way. It does seem that there is a slight differentiation between the other Red Bull clubs and Leeds United. Now, does that mean they're going to be as invested in Leeds? Are they going to want to see us as successful? Are they going to invest that many resources in if they can't control it? These are the fears going the other side that you do have to kind of look into, and especially when you're seeing them investing in other clubs like Newcastle as a sponsorship deal. That could be a big conflict of interest, and it leads me to believe that although we thought that there might be a projection of 4 or 5 years where Red Bull eventually take over Leeds, I don't see that to be the case, because if it was, I think they would be a little bit more hands-on in this stage of things, and I don't think they would be looking to other English clubs to invest even as a sponsorship if they were that serious about Leeds United. Obviously, also being reported to be taking over Paris FC as well, so we'll have to let you know about what Jurgen Klopp and or Red Bull's involvement will be with Leeds in the coming future, but as of right now, it does seem like it is going to be not too much. Now, speaking of Daniel Farke's press conference, there was some other more exciting news, a little bit more meat on the bone of this one, and it is surrounding Leeds' injury issues, and we have received some positive, extremely positive news from Daniel Farke, and that is surrounding 3 key men. 1, Max Wöber. 2, Daniel James, and 3, Manor Solomon. And we're going to specifically be talking about the aforementioned 2 right there. Daniel James has returned from his hamstring injury during the September international break and last featured in the win against Sheffield Wednesday. Obviously then had a little bit more issues on the sideline. Manor Solomon, of course, had his back injury, which took him out of action for a little bit of a time and actually kind of served Ramadzani quite well, but definitely is someone that I would like to see get back into the squad. However, Daniel Farke stated, the good news with Daniel James and Manor Solomon is they are back in team training since late last week. They've trained more or less every day this week. Obviously, James was out a bit longer, so it's a bit easier for Manor to slot himself back into the training, as he was only just out for 3 weeks. But we desperately need them, and it's good to have them back. Leeds United have also welcomed the progress of defender Max Wöber, and he says also some good news with Max Wöber. He's a bit ahead of schedule with his rehab program. Right now, we hope he could be involved at some point before the next international break, but he's obviously out for the weekend. But with Manor Solomon and Dan James back in action and back in contention to play for Leeds United, how would you line up on Friday? Let me know down below. Would this impact your starting 11? Would you keep it somewhat similar to what it had been in terms of the 3 behind the striker? Please let me know down in the comments section down below. Now, one move and one player that will not be featuring in that starting 11 is Cheikou Kouyate, who unfortunately, Desi Fordonado has failed his Leeds United medical. When I made the video last night, I said he's taking his medical right here, right now. It's all cooking, it's all happening, it's kicking off. And unfortunately, a matter of hours after that, he did in fact fail his Leeds United medical, which kind of goes back to what Daniel Farke was saying about there's a reason why these guys don't have clubs at this point in his career. He's 34 years of age, obviously. He's not getting any younger. And unfortunately, injury issues or other issues which are not fully disclosed right now have led the club to pull our move and pull our interest away from Cheikou Kouyate after he did fail his medical. Now, you can look at this one of two ways. Number one, am I disappointed that Leeds are not going to get Cheikou Kouyate? Of course, I'm disappointed. I thought he could have been a good asset for Leeds, especially with his experience. Playing in the top flight of English football, which I thought could be invaluable to rub off on some other players, especially someone like Ao Tanaka, who's new to the country. However, and new to English football. However, unfortunately, that didn't go through. And like with Cuisance, who we thought we were going to get a few years ago, obviously a lot younger than Kouyate, we were all very excited at the prospect of him signing for Leeds United. But when you fail the medical, there's a reason for it. And we don't need any more injury-prone players at this club. We've got enough players out on the injury bed. We don't need any more. So for me, I think it's a positive that we have these strict, stringent things in place in terms of measuring people's fitness, and that we're not just letting anyone come to the club. So for me, it's a positive that the club have assessed this issue before he signed, and they haven't just brushed it under the carpet and rushed and panicked to get a signing in. I take that as a big positive for me. Now, finally, Leeds United are looking to still sign some players, and an unnamed German player is currently undergoing a trial at Leeds United after the Kouyate deal failed. Leeds United are set to welcome an unnamed German footballer for a trial this week, sources have told the Football Insider. The Championship side have been negotiating to sign former Nottingham Forest player Kouyate, as we spoke about, but obviously it fell through. Now, why is it important that this is coming from the Football Insider? Because the Football Insider are the people that have been reporting everything surrounding Kouyate, surrounding the U-turn that Leeds United pulled, surrounding the medical failing, and everything they're reporting is seeming to have a lot of substance to it. So now that they're reporting that Leeds United are bringing a German player in for a trial, I, for one, see a lot of validity in what they're saying. And it is something that is interesting. It's intriguing. It's an unknown. We don't know who this guy is. We don't necessarily even know his position. And there's also reports circulating from the same publications that Leeds United are looking for a potential defender as well. Because we spoke about the fact that obviously, our midfield is very weak in terms of depth right now, but so is our defence. With Wöber out, that is not only one of our two backups gone, but our other backup centre-half is also Ethan Ampadu. Not only is Ethan Ampadu important for squad depth in the midfield, but he's also important for squad depth in the defence, which is very important for Leeds United. So I think we could actually be potentially seeing Leeds dip our toes into the free agent market for two players, a central midfielder in the holding variety, and also a centre-back. Let me know what you guys think, though. What is more important for Leeds United to sign? Are you excited about the potential of this unnamed German commodity that could be going over to Leeds United, or do you think it's too big of a gamble? Please let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. For now, guys, I'll see you very, very soon. And my brothers and my sisters.